Listen, I was done being over 200 pounds. I was tired of losing the same 5 pounds over and over. And nothing changed until I got fed up. And that's how I lost 30 pounds for good. Keep watching, I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it. If you're tired of feeling stuck and you want real practical steps on how to lose the weight, stick around and I'm gonna share with you what actually worked for me. I've been trying to lose the same pounds over and over and over again. And honestly, I've been sick and tired of it. So since 2020, I have been over 200 pounds. That's when I got pregnant with my daughter. But even before then, I was teetering right at the line, okay? But when I had her, that's what just took me overboard. I started this year at 217 pounds. Yes, that is a lot of weight. I can remember last January, my trainer called me over next door to this clinic that's next to my lash salon, and she was like, hey, I'm here, come on over, let's do a weigh-in. Baby, I went and weighed in. It was at 217 pounds. In that moment, I was done. I was over it. I was like, you know what? I'm about to make a change, and I'm making a change today. I can remember vividly. I had a client laying on my bed, and I told her, I was like, girl, I was just weighed in at 217 pounds. This is the heaviest I've been since I've had my daughter in 2020. In that moment, I was fed up. I was tired. I was over it. I was tired of looking the way I looked, feeling the way I felt, constantly beating myself up over and over, going to the gym, waking up early, tired. I just felt like I was operating out of stress and I was done. That was my turning point. Now that I've lost the 30 pounds, I look back at pictures of myself and I think to myself like, so nobody was gonna tell me that I was big. Nobody was gonna tell me that I was this big. Like, yeah, your friends and family, they'll try to cover it up. Like, oh girl, you carry your weight well. And I'll be like, oh, I'm 207. Oh, but you don't look like it. So who cares about what I look like on the outside? It's really about how I'm feeling on the inside that matters. And fitness has always been a part of my lifestyle. In college, I made it a point to adopt fitness and exercise as a habit so that it can continue to be a lifestyle. And as silly as it sounds, like I was working out because I knew that one day when I had kids, I didn't want my body to go left. Like I wanted to make sure that I was housing a baby in a healthy body, and I wanted to have a healthy delivery, in which I did, thank you Lord. But that was my reasoning, and since then, 15 years later, fitness has become a part of my lifestyle. Now, exercising, working out, walking, moving my body, that is not my issue. My issue is the food. And I will say that over the years, I have adopted really good eating habits, like cutting out sugar. Like I really don't drink sugar in my coffee. I do stevia. I drink a lot of water. I don't drink juices. I don't drink soda. Now, I will have a cocktail beverage, only socially, but there's just a lot of things that I was doing that I needed to make like minor shifts and minor changes to help me to really see the progress and see and improve and get the body that I want. So after I weighed in at 217 pounds, the very first thing that I told myself that I was going to try was intermittent fasting. I always wanted to try intermittent fasting, and this was something that I never tried before, because when I tell you that I have tried everything, your girl has done it all. I did phentermine when I was younger. I have done the Atkins diet. I did Weight Watchers, y'all. I was young doing Weight Watchers. What else have I done? Hydroxycut, baby. The Hydroxycut had me in a chokehold, okay? Because the way you could drop 15, 20 pounds in like 2 weeks was that needed to be studied, and nobody was talking about this. I have done it. I've done the JJ Smith Green Smoothie Challenge. I have done, you name it. Listen, I have done it, okay? But this time I was like, you know what, intermittent fasting, it won't be bad. So I was watching YouTube videos and I was really studying on like what all it entails to execute this intermittent fasting. And so I decided on my window. I just stuck with the generic window, the 12 to 8. So being that I am an entrepreneur, I can control my days. So I was like, okay, you know, this is going to work for me. So from January until March, I decided to try intermittent fasting. And in that time, I did lose 5 pounds. Okay, so I went from 217 to 212. Once March came, I got stuck because I then moved in with my boyfriend at the time, which is now my fiance. And he lives a little bit further, so it was just throwing off my morning commute. It was throwing off my workout schedule, so I really had to go back to the drawing board. During my intermittent fasting days, I was using factor meals to hold me accountable and making sure that I was getting my protein in, making sure that I had a meal ready for me to eat. So I would keep those at my job in the refrigerator. Now this is kind of where things started going, I wouldn't say left, but this is kind of where things started getting a little bit challenging. Like I had a system down, but when we moved in with him, everything kind of changed. So I was really frustrated because I wasn't able to get up and get my workout in like I wanted to, because I was going to work out with my trainer. So that had to stop. I had to stop my intermittent fasting. I had to wake up earlier, so I wasn't really able to like prepare my meals and things like that. So that's why factor was very important for me during this pivotal time in my life. After March, I stopped intermittent fasting because it just was not working out. And so then I went to weigh in, and I had lost a good 6 pounds doing intermittent fasting. But what also came with that was me losing muscle. Now I am aware that when you lose weight, you're going to lose the fat. Sometimes some of the muscle goes as well, but it just wasn't sitting right with me. So then in April, I was like, I am going to amp up my protein, and I'm going to be eating my protein, making sure I hit my goal. I think at the time my goal was like 170 grams of protein, and so incorporating those factor meals into this really helped. So since I wasn't able to do intermittent fasting anymore, I wasn't able to see my trainer anymore, and things were just getting a little bit unpredictable on if I was going to be able to complete my wellness goals or not. My boyfriend got me the membership at the gym, so I started going every week. I would do it like 3 to 4 times a week. Now at the gym, what I was doing is I was following Keisha Collins, her workout plans. Now on her channel, on her YouTube channel, she posts her workouts, and then she also had like a little community in which she sold like an ebook that had a split. It had like full body day, leg day, upper body day, and then like a core day. So I would incorporate that, and I have been doing that for at least like a year. Like that, her channel, like Keisha really changed my life. And during this time, I would do like little challenges with myself. So at the beginning of the year, I cut out fast food. So I was like, no Chick-fil-A. I was like, no Chick-fil-A. And I had no Chick-fil-A from like January up until like April. So in that time frame, I was not eating Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A for me is like a refrigerator that's not in my house. Like it was just like me pulling up like, hey, and I was literally just ordering the same thing, like let me get this, let me get this. But I cut out fast food, and then also at the beginning of the year for the Daniel fast, I cut out sugar. So I cut out like all refined processed sugars, things like that. I cut it out. So doing these little challenges with myself really helped. There was even a month where I cut out Starbucks, and that right there is game changing. If you are visiting Starbucks or a coffee shop daily, I advise you to cut it out, because there is so much sugar that is in that coffee. It is hindering your weight loss. It is making you hold on to weight that you feel like you should be losing because you're working out, you're doing this, you're doing that right, but you're also every morning going to Starbucks. Cut it out, sis. Cut it out. So doing these little challenges and things like that really helped me to exercise my discipline and help me to see like how far I could go if I just stuck with something. Like, let's exercise my mind, so then my goals will follow, and I would see progress on my goals. So here we are 6 months later, and I was so upset that I wasn't making the progress that I felt like I needed to be making. Something was off, and it was something that was bigger than me. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I knew something was not right, because I'm doing all the things. I'm working out, I'm strength training 3 to 4 times a week, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing my daily walks, I'm drinking my water, minding my business, but I'm still holding on to this weight. One thing I also did that I didn't tell you is that at the beginning of the year in January, I said to myself, if I wasn't able to see the progress that I wanted to, that I would consider starting a GLP-1. And immediately when I first found out that I was 217 pounds, my sister, my client, and my cousin, they were all like, Kiara, why don't you try GLP-1? And I was just against it. I was so against it because I felt like I had been down that road before. I'd done the amphetamine, the hydroxycut, the Weight Watchers, the Atkins. I had done the things. And every time I did those things, what happened? The weight come right back. And I was not truly working on my discipline or working on my eating, but this was different. This time was different. I was doing all the things. I was eating right, I was walking, I was doing everything in what I considered right. Okay, and the weight was not budging. I was 217 in January. In May I was 212. 5 pounds in 6 months. There's an inconsistency somewhere. So I got curious, and I really went down a rabbit hole on the GLP-1s. One day I just got curious, and I went next door to ask about it, set up an appointment, went to the appointment, and I weighed in at 212 pounds. And I decided to go ahead and start my GLP-1 journey, in which I now take Tirzepatide compound. Now, I could have titled this video like my GLP-1 journey or something like that, but truly how I view GLP-1s is as support. And while I was so against it in the beginning, after knowing what I know and doing my research and learning and observing people that I know close to me use it, is that this is simply just support. GLP-1 is just like you going to a trainer. A GLP-1 is just like you taking a supplement to help you with your workouts. Now, one thing I can tell you about a GLP-1 is that it is not a magic pill. Okay, this is not no miracle fix it type thing. You have to be putting in the work. You have to be practicing your discipline. You have to be consistent, and you have to listen to your body. I think that because I already had the habits, I already knew what to do, I was already doing the things needed to be done in order to make this GLP-1 just pop off for me. Okay, so that worked out in my favor. Now, I have seen people that simply said they did not lose any weight, and I will say that our lifestyles are different. Our lifestyles are different. While I'm over here working out, drinking my water, minding my business, eating my meals correctly, the other person is not doing any of those things, and so that slows down their weight loss. So I was so happy to start this journey because the doctor that I started with, Dr. Alonzo Osario, he is amazing. He is very, very knowledgeable, and everyone in his clinic is knowledgeable as well about GLP-1s and peptide therapy and things like that. So he is a wealth of knowledge, and so that just made me feel super comfortable being under his care and seeing him every week to go get my shot. Now it is December, and I have lost 30 pounds while being on this peptide. I started my journey at 212 pounds, and now I am at 181 pounds, or 183. It's the holidays, so you know. But anyway, so yeah, I'm at 183. And y'all, when I first was about to cross over under 200s, y'all should have seen me. I was just so excited. And when I tell you I have not seen weight fall off like this in a long time, I have not seen it fall off like this in a very, very long time. Now, I will say on my GLP-1, things that I'm noticing is that I'm not hungry as as much. Now I do still have an appetite, which I think is good, because you don't want to like completely wipe out your appetite, because then you start compromising your muscle and you start losing your hair. You start you're putting your body in starvation mode, and that is something that I did not want, which is also why we decided to microdose. We decided to start super small. Now I started with about 3 units, and now I'm up to 10, and which I might go up, I might not, but it's working for me. And I feel like by doing the smaller doses, it's helping me to continue to stay in control of the situation and not allowing the GLP-1s to just take full force over everything, which when I do stop, I'll still be able to maintain this weight because I'm doing the things that I need to do. I'm walking, I'm drinking my water, I am eating right, I'm getting my protein in, I'm sleeping, I'm sticking with my training schedule, and then I'm taking my GLP-1 as well. And so I think all those things are important to consider when you think you might want to start your GLP-1 journey, or you might want to take a GLP-1, because it can either work for you or it won't. And I've seen it happen both ways for people. I think one thing I love so much about what I have done this year differently than I've done in the past years is that I haven't counted any calories. I used to be a MyFitnessPal junkie back when I was in college, and I think that truly just burnt me out. Like, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I want to do intuitive eating. Like, I want to actually listen to my body versus look at some numbers on what it is that I need. Now, granted, that could be a game changer for some people, because what we might be telling ourselves like, oh, I'm so hungry, when in reality our bodies are full. And that is also too where the GLP-1 comes into play. But I haven't counted any calories. I'm just very mindful, and I wouldn't say that if you are beginning this journey, it's your first time for you to not count calories. But because I have experience in counting calories, I can kind of eyeball things. And I do have certain different little measures that I like to do. So like, I'll leave a bite of food. I won't finish all my food. I'll make sure that I get my water in first thing in the morning so that I'm not scrounging towards the end of the day to get my water in. I like to make healthy swaps. So I'll do healthy swaps and things like that. So that's one thing that has really helped me. And another thing that has helped me as far as like staying consistent with my eating is like going to Sam's and finding all the good protein. I just want to encourage you that it is okay for you to accept support. Your weight loss journey might be different from what you see other people do, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, we have to do what works best for us, and we have to do what is going to help us achieve the goals that we have set. This year has truly been life-changing for me on so many levels. I've experienced so many transitions, from becoming a fiance to moving in a new direction in my business, and making sure that my health is intact is literally like the icing on the cake. Like, I am preparing my body for the seasons to come. I'm preparing myself for where God is about to take me, and I am just so happy that I am being a good steward over my body and taking care of myself, so that when the time comes, I am prepared mentally and physically and spiritually to do out, to go, to say, to do, to be, to encourage whoever it is that I am supposed to encourage in this lifetime. Everyone's journey is unique, and I just advise for you to do what is going to be best for you. And before you decide to jump on any kind of physical wellness, fitness journey, consult with your doctor. Consult with your doctor to see what's going to be best for you and what your body can take, because not all bodies can take a GLP-1. Okay? See what is going to be best for you and what your body can take. All right, let's talk about one thing that has truly helped, that it has nothing to do with like eating, moving your body, but your mindset. And for me, I'm a very disciplined person, and I feel like because I believe in myself and because I know my capabilities, that on being on this journey, I knew I could do it. Like, I knew in my heart that I was capable of getting the dream body. I knew in my heart that I was capable of creating a transformation that was going to be mind-blowing. That's what brought me from this to this. I mean, like, the proof is in the pudding. Look at these pictures. And I just think that anything we want to pursue in life, any desires that we have, we first must believe that we can do it. We have to believe, like we have to set ourselves up for the journey ahead of us. And it comes with consistency. You have to practice being consistent, right? You have to trust yourself. You have to build up a level of trust in yourself that says, hey, you did this before. I know you can do this now. Okay, so if you are having a hard time with your discipline or trusting yourself or your consistency, one thing I would do is find one thing that you can commit to every single day and do that thing. Like right now, we're 15 days away from Christmas. And last night I told my fiance, I was like, let's challenge ourselves. Let's do a fitness. Let's do 14 days straight of exercise. And this is simply not to see if we can lose 10 pounds in 10 days or if we can get abs by Christmas. This is simply to exercise our mind. Exercising our mind to set us up for anything that comes up against us, to set us up for any goals or any journeys or anything that comes up. We can handle those things because we are building the trust within ourselves. We are building the discipline. We are building the ethic to be able to pursue whatever it is that we want to pursue further on in our life. Okay, so here's what I'm doing next. So we're preparing to plan our wedding next year. And so I am really just going to be fine-tuning. Like I really want to lose another 10 pounds just so that I'm like in a safe area to gain if I gain, and to also put on muscle where I need to. Now I'm pretty muscular, like I have muscle because I've been strength training for years, but I just want to make sure that I have like that room. But I really want to dive deep and really go deep on this journey as I prepare for my wedding. So that is where I'm headed. I'm going to continue drinking my water. I'm going to continue prepping my meals. And while I'm not on my factor meals right now, I will be bringing those back in January after the holidays. And then I will also continue like my protein drinks in the morning time, and then training 3 to 4 times a week with one long weekly walk. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing to make sure that I continue on this journey. And I will also be sharing some of those things with you guys as well. So I hope this video was very eye-opening for somebody. I hope this video was the light that you needed to be able to get started on your fitness journey, to finally lose those last 10 pounds, or to just say, you know what, I'm tired of losing the same 5 pounds every week. It's time to do something different. So I hope this video was that for you. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you love this topic, I would love to bring you more videos. I do have one video already about like the things that I eat while I'm on my GLP-1 journey, and also why I decided to start my GLP-1 journey. So I will tag those videos below. But until next time, thank you so much for being here. It was great talking to you. Bye-bye.